we are back with another fantasy football video. I'll be sharing with you my starts and my sits for this week, week 4. If you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like. I'll catch you next time. Enjoy the video. All right, so for some of my slam dunk starts, I have Brock Bowers, Alexander Madison. I think Devontae Adams being out, Max Crosby being out, there's going to be a lot of dump passes. So I'm looking at Brock Bowers and Madison to get most of those. You could play Zamir White, but I don't love him. I think Madison's more of a ball catcher, and Zamir White has been proven to be shaky, and he hasn't had too much output. So looking at those two, and then I have Jahan Dotson and Dallas Goedert just because of the injuries to A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. Jahan Dotson, I mean, he hasn't had anything done with him yet, but I think that they're going to slowly start putting him into the offense. I think he's finally going to get his opportunities that he deserves. And then Dallas Goedert obviously having the game of his life last week for fantasy in terms of fantasy. So I like Dallas Goedert. And then the Bears players. I think that a lot of the Bears players are going to have a lot of opportunities to win against the Rams secondary. The Rams are allowing a lot of big plays to a lot of players. So I think DeAndre Swift, Romo Dunze, those are guys I would be looking to start. And then Dalton Kincaid and Josh Allen, I think those are obvious like slam dunk picks. I think they play the Ravens, so yeah, I like them a lot. Jerome Ford and Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper facing his old team. Obviously a lot of bad blood there. Jerome Ford, I think he's going to get a lot of opportunities to succeed against the Raiders without Max Crosby. Aaron Jones, I think Aaron Jones has been phenomenal this year for the Vikings. It's going to be a revenge game for him, obviously a former Packer. And these are my starts, don't love, but I like them a lot. Justin Fields, I think he has a favorable matchup. Justin Fields has been doing really well. I think he's finally getting that recognition, that confidence to go and have a day, or for the remainder of the season, not just the day. Debo and Mason for the Niners. I think the Niners have a game against New England, so there's going to be a lot of dump passes. I know New England like to run a tight defense, so I'm looking for a lot of dump passes, a lot of trickery. I think Debo and Mason are what's that dude's name? Yeah, Jordan Mason, the running back, and Debo obviously with the right running back wide receiver role. I like them a lot. Ayuk obviously allegedly had an issue with the coach, with Kyle Shanahan today, and he's been playing awfully just because, he didn't have an off season, no training camp, nothing like that, so he's been awful this year. Obviously he did get paid as well, and I don't love Jahan Dotson or Jawan Jennings. I don't think he's gonna have a week like he did last week. Like I said, that was against the Rams. Okay, I have Stephon Diggs, a matchup against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Tank Dell's out, Nico Collins is in, but I think he was questionable. I think that they heard good news from him, so he is going to play, but I still think that Diggs is going to have a big target share, so I'm looking for Diggs to have a good game. Xavier Worthy against the Chargers. I think the Chargers are not going to have they have a good defense as well, so I think speed kills a lot of good defenses. And piggybacking off of that, I like J-Mo against the Seahawks. Obviously another good team that has a good defense, so I think speed kills. Those crossing routes will be really good for J-Mo. And I like T. Higgins, Carolina Panthers. I think he's going to have a big game. I think there's going to be a lot of attention drawn towards Jamar Chase, so I'm looking for T. Higgins to have a big game. And these are my sits. I don't necessarily enjoy sitting these players, but if you guys watch my last video on terms of week 4 pickups, I told you to get rid of Ramondre Stevenson. He had like 3 points that week. This week, another unfavorable matchup against the 49ers. I think the 49ers are coming off a tough loss against the Rams, so I think they're gonna, they're looking for the revenge game. So I think Stevenson's going to be a bad option for you. I have Garrett Wilson on here. Obviously, it's tough to sit one of your stars, but he is playing the Broncos, and I think that Patrick Surtain's going to be looking to lock him up. I do think that Aaron Rodgers will give him some opportunities, but I would be looking towards picking up like Alan Lazard or Mike Williams You know, some of those second options. Another person I'd be looking to sit is Drake London. Drake London has a rough matchup against the Saints. The Saints are going to be looking for a revenge game as well. I don't really like any of the offensive players in terms of this game, just because it is a divisional game, a divisional opponent. So it's going to be gritty. It's going to be nasty. Both quarterbacks are, you know, fairly, I don't want to say old, but they're kind of on that training arc, you know, that do we trust you, do we not, did we overpay for you, are you good, are you not, are you a what is it called, a streak shooter? Another player from that Atlanta Saints game, I think Rashid Shaheed. I told you guys last video to get rid of him. I think he's gonna have a tough week again this week against those Atlanta safeties. I think Atlanta has one of the best safety group in the league, so I don't like him. No deep balls for him. He kind of relying on those deep balls. Ayuk and Jawan, like I said previously, don't want to start those guys. Adam Thielen against the Bills. Was it the Bills? It was against the Bills. So I don't like Thielen at all. Cortland Sutton, another tough game against the Jets. I think Sauce will be on his ass. I think the Jets are kind of finding a stride of being a defensive team, not so much an offensive team like everybody thought. These are my beware of starting these guys. Michael Pittman, I don't think he's been doing really bad. I think that, what's his name, Alec Pierce. I think Alec Pierce has been getting more of the share of the ball. I think he's been doing really well, much better than Pittman has. All right, then I have Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk has a tough matchup against the Texans. I think the Texans are one of those teams that they rely on defense to give them good field position for their offense to score. Obviously, this one's pretty easy to tell. Beware of any Miami receivers, just because they have no quarterback right now. So any Miami receiver I'd be looking to sit. I think it'd be tough, but it's tough to like bench a guy like Tyreek Hill, but I think you'd be safe with the running backs, but not the receivers. And then I have Khalil Shakir. I think I don't love his matchup. I do think that Dalton Kincaid is looking to be more of that receiver, get more of the targets. So I don't love him. And then J.K. Dobbins playing against the Saints, a divisional opponent. So I think he's going to have a rough game against the Chiefs. And then I have Derek Carr. Like I said, tough safeties. That secondary is really strong on the Atlanta Falcons side. So don't love Derek Carr. Other than that, though, that's it for me. If you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you want to see more stuff like this in the future, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.